Welcome to Papyrus Plans. I'm Tasha. Ready to create something beautiful? Let's dive in.
Hello everyone, welcome back. So this is a bit of a bonus video for my creative journal. I decided at the end of the year to kind of do a overview of the year. And I decided to do like a play on words called a year in rear view. Instead of a year in review, which a lot of people do, because I just thought that made more sense. And so I'll go over some of the elements that I have, and I've already counted out, I haven't done December yet, but I counted out all the pages I'll need for December, so I know where to start, and I gave myself a bonus page just in case. Originally I had designated, I think 12 pages for this, because I was going to designate one page for each month, when I thought I was going to do like an overview of the whole year. But based on some of the other spreads that I did, you know, like the faux Dutch doors where you fold in the pages, and anytime I did a double cover page for the month, that took away a page. So I think I ended up with 7 pages. 4 full spreads and then this half page. So I did kind of have to rearrange how I was going to do some things. So we'll kind of play some things by ear. And as I was putting this in, I put it in a little envelope to keep everything together, and it got stuck to the little plastic envelope. So this kind of wrinkled a little bit, and thankfully I was able to take it off, but I think we can make that work. So I just basically came up with different categories of things that I wanted to track, because originally I was going to do it by the month, you know, like January and whatever happened that month, and kind of put everything there. But instead of doing that, I just chose 12 items of things that I thought I would like to go over. Or things I just want to have like a record of for 2025. So I have a section for favorite quotes, lyrics, poems, or sayings. That's what this is going to be for. Things that I want to change. Guilty pleasures or things that brought me joy. The books that I read in a year. Letters to myself. I'm going to do a gratitude jar and things that I want to let go of. Things that I've kind of weathered throughout the year. Things that I've faced, different challenges, that kind of thing. My 2025 goals and new directions that I want to take for 2026, and then kind of like some end of year reflections. And then I thought it would be kind of cool to do like a year in pictures. And then I have, let's see, I think there might be one more. Is that it? Okay, that might be it. Okay, and then I have some bonus pages for things like I might want to tear some paper or things like that. So I tried to think of as much as I could and do as much as I could in advance. So we'll kind of go over each section as I do it. That'll probably be the easiest and show you what I created for that section. So let me see if I get my page, because I created like a little page of how I want to lay everything out. Just like a quick little doodle of things, nothing fancy, but just kind of scribbled some stuff down. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, there we go. So this is kind of like my outline of everything. This is when I originally was going to do everything by the month, and I decided not to. And then I was like, you know what, let's just scribble some stuff down, and then kind of like scratch some stuff out with pen and then kind of redid it. So it's kind of like my guideline of how I want to lay everything out. So I have that to the side. So first things first, let's see. I thought it'd be cool to do a year in headlines. So various headlines that happen for each month in the year. But first I want to get the title down, and I want to get, let's see, where is it? My cover page down. Okay. So I have this, and I think I'm just going to center it down here, and then hopefully this will fit a year in, and then rear view over there. And I put some double-sided tape over here. I ran out of my really wide, like 2-inch tape, so I used just my 1-inch tape. And then in the small areas that wouldn't fit, I used 1/2-inch in the middle. So let me peel this off and then put this down. And originally I had this on sticker paper. Oh, wait. Hold on. I just realized I wanted to do... Oh, I realize now why I didn't do that. Okay. I originally had this on sticker paper, and I was trying to remember, why did I change this to cardstock? Because I'm like, this is really thick. I wanted to cut this and make little slits here so that I can fit these cute little adorable... I don't want to take them apart because... I want to keep them together so that they don't fly out everywhere. But I made these little miniature folders. And I do have a folder die. So I used this. But after I did it, this is how small it is. And And I thought the final folder was going to be like this size, but I forgot, oh yeah, this is super tiny. So this is kind of cute, like to put on the top of a card or something like that and have something coming out of it. So even though I had that didn't work. So then I had to kind of manually, like I looked at folders and I kind of looked at the shape of them. And so I just kind of designed it based on the shape I saw. And I just got this held together like with one of those little mini hair elastics. So then I did that. And so I created a middle one, a left and a right folder. And had I originally did this on sticker paper until I realized I shouldn't have printed this on sticker paper. I was like, you know, when you have sticker paper in your machine and I forgot to change it out, I meant to print this on cardstock and then have my machine cut it. So I had this on sticker paper and my brother's scan and cut machine cut it out, but then I realized, shoot, I should have put this on cardstock. And so I didn't want to waste the sticker paper already created. So then I just took the sticker paper and put it directly on cardstock and then just manually fussy cut around that. So it took a lot longer than it should have just because I accidentally did that. And I did that for a couple of the other elements too. So I'm just kind of explaining that in advance. So just make sure if you're kind of recreating something like this to make sure you're using the right paper, cardstock, depending on what you want to do. So everything you may not want to have on sticker paper, for example. So I'm going to get my cutting mat. And let's see, let's do it like this. I'm gonna make little slits here. Let's see, I wanna make sure it's big enough. So I think I might do a slit all the way across because it almost needs the full thing. And then I have about a quarter of an inch give on either side. So I might do that. And maybe I should get my ruler so I can make sure I do a fairly straight line. And I'm using the line here to kind of line this up. So I'm gonna go almost to the very edge. Okay, so I have the slit there. So now I'm realizing I shouldn't have put tape here. So what I might do is, I need tape everywhere, but you know, not in this area here, except for the very bottom. So I might put something over here, like printer paper or something, just to cover it up. So when I put the folders in, it doesn't stick. You know what I mean? Let's see, how can I do this? I have tape. I need a stopper, so I need to probably glue the sides of each of these. So maybe where that line is, I need to cut the tape down all the way here. So I think what I'll do is try to put a piece of printer paper down here and give myself about a 1/2 inch clearance to the bottom of this drawer, because it doesn't need to go all the way down, just in enough to have, you know, if it's like peeking up, that's fine. I don't mind that. Yeah, I got a little carried away and excited. I was trying to do as much in advance as possible so that this video won't be 4 hours long, because it does take quite a long time to film videos like this. Like my creative journal videos are some of my most time-consuming videos. They're my most popular ones, but they take me the longest to film. Like those videos take me a good 4 hours to film. And that's just the actual filming. That's not taking into account the prep work that I have to do. This isn't quite all the way, so I'm just using my blade to follow the score line just to kind of open it up. And that worked. Then I'm get my scissors again to kind of clean up this edge. And this is just the back of that tape. Okay, so we got that one, and I'm going to fit 3 folders in each drawer. So again, I'm going to need to glue down here and the sides, which I really wish I didn't put tape on this now. I thought I was helping myself, but I forgot that I was going to add these folders to this. So, but we're going to figure it out. You know, I make mistakes like this, and I do my best to keep all of my mistakes in my videos, just so that if you do something similar, you know how to kind of pivot and self-adjust, because mistakes happen, even when you're a seasoned crafter. Again, just kind of using the blade of my knife and sliding it down. And I might need to cut a little bit more. Didn't quite go all the way through. There we go. I'm just gonna, again, this is actually the tape, not the paper. So I'm just kind of trying my best to, maybe I should do it this way, to trim off the edge of the tape. It's the best I can. I mean, it's kind of hard to do it like this because I already got it on there, but we're gonna do the best that we can. Okay. All right, so I have my 3 slits. Again, I'm just gonna try to do my best to clean this edge up. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to remove this. Maybe I should do like this. I'm cutting a line where I need to put something to cover up this tape. And then I'm going to peel up this section because this is the section where I don't want tape. And then maybe add glue to that. And I don't know if I can try to pull the tape up, but I doubt it because it's very strong double-sided adhesive. It's permanent double-sided tape. Let's see. I mean, I can try, but let's see. Yeah, see, it's like barely coming up. I don't think that's gonna work. Okay. What should I do? What should I do? Let's see. I don't know. It might be easier to cut strips. How wide is that? 2.5 inches by 1.25 inches, more or less. Actually, that might work. Let's see. I might just use some scrap printer paper and cut 3. Let's see. Let me get my, of course I have stuff stacked on top of my cutting mat, my cutting board. Let's see if I can get that over here. Oh no, 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 no. Look what just happened. Oh my God. This just floated in the air and fell on top of this. It's like, are you joking? Well, this is what not to do. Oh, goodness gracious. Things are really easy over here. Yikes. Okay. Goodness. Okay, let's do 2.5 is where. Okay. How can I do this? Just score it first. Okay, it's 2.5 inches. Oh boy, this is so thin. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, hold on. Let me figure this out. Okay, let's do this again. Let's do it this way. Because this is so thin, usually I'm scoring cardstock. Okay, I might have to just score it and then cut it by hand. Because it's so thin, it's just printer paper. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, just enough to cover up the bulk of that, so I'm not, so the folders I put in aren't sticking to it. Okay, now 1.5 inches wide. Again, I'm doing my best not to rip this, so I'm trying to go lightly. And 3 inches. Then 4.5. And that'll give me 3 drawers. Okay, there's a way around this. We're going old school. Okay, that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, so now let's get our mock-up pieces. It's a little taller. Oh, I did the full width. I only needed to do, because I measured it from this side, I need it slightly smaller. Okay, so maybe about 1/2 inch smaller. I might just eyeball this. About 1/3 of an inch smaller. So let's go right there. And use that as my guide. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, but just enough to cover the bulk of it so it doesn't stick. And I'm gonna do from the top down because the top is the most important part. You know what I mean? So that having one side exposed is fine. Again, going from the top. We're gonna figure this out and make this work. I mean, the paper falling on top of that was crazy. So I couldn't have done that again if I tried. And because printer paper is so thin, just make sure I don't. There we go. Part of where it's stuck to the printer paper is, let's see if I can trim this up. I definitely made this harder for myself than it would have been otherwise. I'm just trying to trim off the excess printer paper that got stuck. You can always use like an alcohol marker or something to clean up that edge if I need to. Okay, just making sure there's nothing here that's sticky at the top. Okay, so as long as the top isn't sticky, that's good. And I might need to come in with these scraps. I think I will. Let me use my Xyron. I'll put these scraps in here just to cover up that bottom edge on that one drawer. It's a little bit more exposed than it should be. And this will make it easier for me in terms of adding adhesive. When mistakes happen, it helps to have the right tools. So we're gonna figure this out. Again, I'm just gonna put this one on the bottom now without going past that edge. Because again, I only want to put glue on the sides here and there, but I want to be able to control it. And that was a little bit more than I wanted. Okay, I think this one's okay. Yeah, okay. All right, now we can peel. Goodness gracious. Okay. And after I peel this off, I will reinforce the edges with glue and the edges of the drawers with glue. And now we have the slits where we need them. And I might, while this is open and easier to access, take the broad end of a black alcohol marker. Or maybe I should do the fine end. You know, I'm thinking about that's kind of a small opening. And just to get this little line here. Actually, I think the broad edge might be easier to use a chiseled side. Let's see. And just from where the printer paper got stuck, kind of recreating that shadow that I had earlier. Okay, that's not bad. Helps to kind of just clean up that edge just a little bit. Okay, so we got that. That's working. Okay, that's good. Now let's add some glue. I think I'm gonna use my Elmer's Craft Bond glue. This is all-purpose wet glue, but it dries clear and it gives you a little bit of flexible hold. It's really thick though. I will say it's a little hard to come out. So I'm shaking it. And do I need to clean the nozzle? Might be okay. Let's see. Actually, let me get a backer sheet. So I don't get glue everywhere. And this is halfway full, but again, it's so thick. I might use my 𝐈𝐍𝐶𝐒 glue because this is, there it is. Okay, just had to shake it. Again, I'm gonna put it on the edges just to kind of secure it, because wet glue does tend to be stronger, in my opinion, especially for projects like this. So put a bead of glue there. Now I need to have an extra stopper here. And on this side. And on the bottom of each drawer. Again, because I only want the folders to go in a certain amount. So I will have to wait for this to dry to be able to slide the folders in. So we'll probably do that at the end after it's fully dry. And let me move this. And bring it all the way down. And smooth it down. I'm just kind of gently smoothing it. And on the sides where the glue is, and on the bottom of each drawer. And then I'm going to lift each drawer to make sure the glue isn't going all the way to the top. Okay, so let me wipe my hands. Clean this off. And let's see, I got some excess glue. Just using the cloth I use when I'm painting. Just squeezing the bottom so any excess glue comes out. And because it's so thick, because I use cardstock, that's why I'm using the wet glue. If this was thinner paper, I wouldn't need to do that. But again, I want to make sure that I have full adhesion. Okay, now smooth the top out. Actually, let me get my bone folder. Just smooth these edges a little bit. Again, because I want to make sure it fully adheres. And any area where extra glue comes out, I'm just going to gently wipe it. It's mainly at the bottom. Okay, now I'll use my tweezers to make sure my pocket is still a pocket. Okay, so I'm sliding it over, but I'm not going all the way down here because I do want the sides to stick. I'm just making sure this doesn't glue in on itself. Okay, I might even put, let's see, some sticker backer paper in there. Just kind of using this as my guide. Okay. Again, just kind of make sure it doesn't stick while it's drying. And this is non-stick backer sheet, so I'm going as far as it's letting me and then stopping. Again, putting it as far as I can until I feel resistance. Again, just as a precaution, you don't necessarily have to do this, but because I'm using wet glue, I just want to make sure that these stay open as it dries. Okay, so that kind of gives me a little extra insurance there. Okay, make sure I don't have any glue on my hands. I think we're good. All right, so now let's put the title in. So a year in, and I did rear view with like a car theme. I thought that would be kind of cute. Just going to try to make this equidistant as best as I can. And that's not too shabby. Okay. Let's get the other half of this. And put this over here like this. I'm gonna bring it off the page slightly so I can see some of the top of that without it taking up too much space. It's not too bad. Okay, and then let's trim this. That way I see some of it, but I can save a little bit of space by doing that. Okay, so this is where the top headlines are going to go, and when it's dry, I'm going to put the folders in, and then when I have time before the end of the year, I'll just go through each month and see what was like the trending headlines for the year, and then print them out. And I think I might even print them on some vellum or something, and then stick them inside of that. Okay, so that's my plan for that one. So that one's done until it dries, and I'll put the folders in, and then the newspaper clippings once I have those. Again, I'm doing this early so that I'll be able to do this in December. So I'm actually filming this really early so that when December rolls around, I'll be able to fill all of this stuff out. Okay, so that's the first page. So top headlines for the year. Okay, let me look at my little scribble here of how I want things to go. Then it's going to be a year in pictures. So let me get that page. So that's this one. And let's see if we can. I'm going to put these down, and then again, when I have time, print out the photos. I have some photo sticker paper, so I'm just going to measure the inside of these, make the photos, and so make them so they fit inside of this. So I left this black on purpose so that I can put the photo directly on top. So if I cut them slightly too small, all you see is like a little black edge. So it's just kind of a little safety measure. And this does not want to come up. Come on. There we go. And let me get the other one so I can make sure I can fit them. And then if I have room, I'll put the camera. Let's see. Oops, get back in. It's so slippery, my hand keeps pulling it out. Maybe something like that. Oops. Let's see. Like that, maybe? Trying to make sure I don't go over into this page. There we go. Okay. So that worked out. I was able to fit that. Then let's put in the title. If that'll fit perfectly up here. Or should I put it here? Let's see. Then I also have these other cameras. Like this one I think will look good here. Or I could add it over here actually. Just kind of lightly put that down. Then I have this other Instamatic. Okay, I might put that one there, and then maybe this down here. Cut off some of this offset. Let's see. Try not to cover that up in case I want to write like a little short caption of what's happening in the photo. So I chose 4, so it's like 1 for each quarter of something, you know, important or meaningful that happened to me or something I did that I want to show a picture of. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and press that down. And do I want to add this over here? Let's see what that looks like. That's the other part that I cut off from the camera there. And then this here. And just trim off this tiny little bit that goes into the photo. And it's just an offset, so I think that's fine. And I might even take my Pigma Micron, just kind of recreate that outline so I don't have to risk lifting it. Go all the way across just so it looks like the same color. Yeah, that looks good. So I just use my Pigma Micron and 0.8 for that. Okay, page number 2 is down. Ooh, that looks good. I like that. Kind of wish I had something here, but I have tons of other extra stickers that I made. So at the end, I think I'll go back and see if I have anything to fill in the spaces. So I might do that. I wish I created another camera. I could have put that right there. I don't think I did. I used that whole sheet. But like I said, I'll come back later and see if I have anything left over that I can fill in that area. Okay, so up next is, make sure I'm going to the next page, are the things that I weathered and then what's blooming in my life. Okay, I thought those two went together. So let me find those pages. And hopefully I can make this work because my brother scanned and cut. I was going to have these flipped and have it be a journaling card underneath, but my brother scanned and cut these two independently. And I don't know why I did it because I joined them on purpose so that it wouldn't do that. So I don't know if I can do that. Or what I might do is I create a little flaps here just in case I wanted to cut it apart, and I could just have it just be a little tuck spot, like a flap where you lift it. So I might just do that since my original idea kind of got messed up. I was going to make this a little journaling card. But it didn't quite work out that way. Let's see. Where's my, am I missing a sticker sheet? Or is it over here? I've got a pile of stuff over here of things that I created that you guys haven't seen yet. Let's see. Ah, I think it is over here. Okay, this is the what's blooming in my life. So I'm gonna do a similar thing as I did for this, cut little slits. And then I created a flower to go into each one, to tuck into each one. So for this one, I'm not going to worry too much about, you know, gluing anything around the pots. I'm literally just, and the reason I cut this as a rectangle instead of cutting it out around is because I'm going to place glue here, here, and here, and just have little slits where you just stick stuff in. That way I don't have to worry about how far to glue and all of that, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna put that there and then cut slits and then insert the flowers. I might have to trim a little bit of this. It's a little wide, let me see. Trim up about 1/4 of an inch. I wanted to leave enough space to give me room to glue, which is why I did that, but it's going off the page slightly. So I can bring it down like this and just, well, let me get my corner rounder. If I use my 1/4 inch rounder, then I can bring it all the way to that edge. Then I can do this. Haha. All right. Tools. You got to have the right tools. Okay, I think that'll work. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. Because my brother Scan and cut that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of playing this by ear here. But let's go ahead and cut the little strips that I need. So same thing as before. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to get my gyro cut. Since this has curves to it, it does a better job of curves. Let's see. And I'm going to do... Again, it doesn't have to be a big cut, so I'm just going to go maybe just in the middle here. Just enough to tuck something in there. Like I'm doing maybe like 1/3 of an inch of a slit. You know what I mean? So it's big enough to go in. Now some of these are bigger, so maybe I should do more than that. Let's see. Did that go all the way? I'm just gonna use my craft knife just to kind of, since it's already scored, kind of reinforce the cut. Okay. About right there. Let's see if that's big enough. I mean, it's big enough to hold it. Okay, maybe I do need to go longer. Since this one's a straight line, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep using this. Okay. Just kind of testing it. Because I want it to be enough to hold it in place, you know what I mean? Okay, that works. Oh, and if I tilt it, then it's like that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I like that. You know, it just needs to be enough so that when this is glued, it'll stay in place. So it doesn't have to go all the way down, but just enough to kind of hold it like that. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. So let's see. Did I cut this one? I did, but I can't really see it. I'm just kind of going over the cut already made. This, I will say my craft knife is sharper, I feel like, than this. Okay, now let's get my shorter one. I've got this really short flower. Maybe I use that one. Okay, I'm trying to test to make sure that the slit is wide enough. Ooh. Ooh, love that. Love it. Okay, I might make this one a little bit, and I think I might have to go the full width of this one. I just want to make sure it has enough room to go down as far as I need it to because of this leaf. Okay, I think that works. And I might try this one, but for now I'm gonna put this one here. I'm trying to test which flower will work best in each one as well. I made one for each. So I got those on the side there. Okay. Now let's do this one. And this has a curve, so I'm gonna use my gyro cut. Again, so I can get as close to this edge as I can. I mean, you don't have to be perfect here. You're just, again, trying to make a slot big enough to slide something in. Let's see. Let's maybe do this one. Ooh, that works beautifully. This has some adhesive left on it from my temporary adhesive. Remove that. When I applied the sticker paper, I put the sticker paper on the cardstock. This is another one that I messed up because I cut them and then I realized, shoot, I didn't need to put this on sticker paper. I should have put this on cardstock and then cut it. But again, I didn't want to waste what I had already printed. And since, you know, sticker paper, I use premium sticker paper, so it's not cheap. So I didn't want to waste it. So I just went ahead and just slapped the sticker paper on top of cardstock and then cut it again with my brother's Scan and Cut. And then just kind of cleaned up any of the edges. Like this one is a little sharp. I think I'm around the corner of this petal just a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's test this one again. Okay, that works. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now I need to make a slit here and here. And again, these are both curved, so I'm gonna use my gyro cut. And hopefully you can see this. Maybe I should zoom in. And slide this over. There we go. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna work on these two right here. And this is smaller, so I'm gonna need a flower that's skinny, so one of these three I think will work. Let's see. Let's do... And I'm trying to press as hard as I can. Okay. Just testing to make sure it actually cut, and it did. Since this one's taller, I think I might slide this one up here if it'll fit. Let's see, will it fit? Not quite. Let me go all the way around then. Okay, just opened it up just a little bit more so this could slide in. So I can either have it there or slide it down all the way here. I kind of like it like that. So that looks kind of cool. Again, I'm just kind of trying to test which flowers will work where. And let's see, this one's pretty skinny. See if this one will fit. Or let me try the rose. This one's really skinny. Let's see, I might need to open up this one a little bit more too. Okay, I'm gonna take this out so I don't cut it. And slide this just slightly. That way I can get at least one of the leaves in. Okay, so it works if I angle it like that. Just gonna clean up this one edge. Okay, I'm trying to get at least like 1/3 of an inch in there so that it'll stay. And I think that will work. And I had this one in. Okay, that one works beautifully. Okay, so now I need to do this one here and then this one here. And for this one, I need to decide if I just want to make one cut on one side or cut across this. And I don't really want to cut across this. So I think I might just make one cut across and maybe use this one because it's skinny and that way will fit, and then see if I can fit this one here. Or I might try to do this one since this is smaller, so it'll go in the front, but we'll see. And again, since both of these are curved, I'm gonna use my gyro cut. So let's see. I think I'm gonna cut across this. And then right here. And make sure it's open. And that easily fits that one. In fact, I can slide that one almost fully down. Okay, so that one works. Temporarily remove this so I can test the one behind it. All right, so let's slide this one in, see if that one will work. Just make sure the slit is open. Okay, that fits. Let's see, do I want it wider though? What I might do is cut around this slightly just to make it easier to slide in. Because I really don't want to cut across this, so I'm just going to follow maybe halfway down. Follow the curve. Again, just kind of make it easier for this flower. Yeah. That way I can kind of tuck some of the leaf like that. Oh, and that stands up perfectly. So that works. And then that one slides in there. Okay, so that's how all of those are going to work. So hopefully I can remember the order of these. You know what? I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture so I know what it looks like and what order to put it back in. I mean, you know, sometimes it just helps to have a visual. All right. So I took a picture of that. Again, so I kind of know where things go. There's nothing worse than figuring it out and then not remembering what you did. And the back of these will be my journaling spots of the various things that were blooming in my life. Okay, so obviously I need to avoid glue anywhere where these slits are. So the smallest bead of glue will be on this side. I have plenty of room over here, and I'm going to put quite a bit of glue at the bottom here just to make sure that it stays, and maybe a little bit in the middle. And I think I'm just going to avoid this area at the top entirely and just have this be open. And like my original idea of just having it secured on 3 sides with maybe just a little bit right here, because I don't need the flower to go there to go all the way down. So I'll be pretty generous at the bottom, but do my best to avoid anything at the top. Okay, so let's bring that back in. And again, I'm using my Craft Bond all-purpose glue by Elmer's. And this is, like I said, really thick. So sometimes it's a little hard to kind of come out, but then once it does, you're good. So I'm gonna put, okay. That feels really secure. Now when I, again, go back in and make sure my little slit's open. So I'm just kind of using this, and I'm being careful because these tweezers are very sharp. So I have poked through the other side of my page before, so I'm trying to be careful not to do that. Okay, so that one worked really well. Again, I'm gonna give this time to dry before I put the flowers back in, and I took a picture of where things go, again, just so I can remember what I did. So I think that worked. Just wipe off some of this excess glue. So that's what's blooming in my life. So now let's put what I weathered over here. So I have the title. I think I'll add that last because I got to figure out what I want to do for this. Kind of wish I made 2 umbrellas now. Or maybe 1 giant one. What do I want to do? Oh, hold on. You know what? I think I might have some Happy Planner stickers. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm thinking, what if I took some of them and added it to some cardstock and have a little flap here? And that way I'll have more than one. And maybe I can add, because I think I have room if I add 2 other ones this size. Like I have this umbrella. See, I think I might have a sun somewhere. And I made some clouds with my Care Bear stickers I did for my birthday spread. So I could pull one of the clouds and stick them on top of something, you know what I mean? And then use that as a flap. I think that might work. I might do that. Hold on. Let me see if I can grab those Care Bear stickers. All right, so here's my Care Bear stickers, and I have like these clouds here. I think that's a good size one. And I might have a couple that are larger. Oh, like this one. I could use one of these, so I'll pull those to use for that. I think that'll work. And I think I have some weather stickers in this somewhere. I know one of these books I do. So I'm going to look through my Happy Planner sticker books, and then I'll be back once I find a couple of like weather icons or something like that. Something that's large enough. Okay, this is the tiny sticker. What is this? Tiny icons or something? I don't remember. Again, I've used a lot of this. Little mini rain clouds. Again, that might work in terms of just filling in some space. Maybe grab this little rainbow. Yeah, just solo cloud. Anything weather related I'm trying to grab when I see it, so I don't have to remember where I got it. Here's some fold ones. Might grab a few of those. Because like, when else am I going to use this? You know what I mean? I might need to make it like a... Oh, camera! Get that. I didn't have to make a camera, I have one. Okay. I know I have some weather. I know I do. You know when you have something but you don't know where it is? See, I made this smaller because originally I was going to only end up with like 1 one less spread, and so I was smushing it down to fit into the space. And then I was able to add, by only doing November in my creative journal for 1 page instead of a 2-page spread, I was able to gain back some space, and I forgot to resize that. But I'm trying to make it work. If I find some other elements, I can, instead of having just one journaling spot, I can have like 2 or 3. Let's put this down since I remember it, and I think it'll fit beautifully right here. Without me losing too much of it. Okay. So now I don't have to make another camera because I got that there. That looks great. It kind of fills in that space there. That's perfect. And I like the fact that it's a color that I didn't use yet. Pink. Okay, one other one I might check is, I just bought one called Spring Market. And I think I have another seasonal book I can look in. I have this seasonal book. I've got, ooh, Feels Like Sunshine. That's an encouragement one. That might have some suns. And let me get the new one I just bought, Spring Market. Let's look at Feels Like Sunshine first. I think that has some in here. I mean, this is a lot of like moods, but it's got these half sunshines. Let's see, do I have a larger one? It's got these rainbows with sparkles. So let's work with what we got. So I got the Care Bear stickers that I made with the clouds. I think I can make that work. To figure out how I want to do this. Put it on top of some paper, cut it out so it's here, and then when you lift it, I can journal underneath and on top. I might do that. I'm trying to think out how to do this. What's the best way to do it? But it needs to be something that's not thick. I think cardstock's gonna be too much, unless it's like thin cardstock. Okay. First, let me find some cardstock that this will work with. Okay, let's maybe go with, do I have, and of course I used the blue. I was gonna get the blue, but okay. What about this gray color? That might work. This is scrapbook paper, so it is 12 by 12. Let's see. Do you have any other color? Or, oh, this lighter gray. I think I like this better. Let's perforate it. Come on. You know what? We're gonna do that. And then do this. There we go. I think that's a little bit nicer because it's lighter. It's not too dark. Let's see. That color might work too. Maybe I'll pull this one. Oh, I already cut it. See, I used the blue. Obviously, I like that color. If I don't like this, I might open up that new pad to get that blue. Then I get 2 of each color. I mean, I think the light gray will work. Is this the same color? Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can make that work. All right, now let's figure out how we want to do this. Put some clouds down. And giving myself room to cut around it and maybe create a flap if I want to. So let's see. And since I made this a sticker, I'm gonna put this down too. And just put this down and see if I can add these flaps back. Well, I'll just create my own because it cut around that. So I'll just create what I need. Okay, let's see. Trying to think this through. What I might do is I could leave it the shape and then make a score mark to lift it up. I might do that. The only one that might be harder on is this one. So this one I'm gonna give myself maybe like a 1/2 inch allowance and then create little tabs. So I might do that. Okay. So let's cut this apart to make it easier for myself so I'm not dealing with this 12 by 12 sheet. And get my larger scissors. All right, so I'm gonna fussy cut these and then I'll be back and show you how I adhere them, because it's probably gonna take a while. All right, you guys, so I just fussy cut the clouds and the umbrella out, and the umbrella is the only one where I left a small margin around it, just because of how dainty it is, and also I needed to have something here to adhere to. So then for the clouds, I made a score on the top edge of the cloud. And then I turned it over and added my 1/4 inch double-sided adhesive tape to the back of that and to the back of this. So I'm gonna place those, but then I remember these. So I think what I'll do is, so I don't bring anything down too far, is put these back. And actually, let me get my photo. Just gonna remember how I had this. Okay, so I'm gonna use that as my guide. So this one goes here. Like that. The blue one goes in this one. The yellow one goes behind it. Actually, I should put that one in first so I can see it. See if I can turn it. Get my tweezers. Make sure this pocket didn't seal itself. Because if so, I gotta break it open. There we go. Okay, just making sure it didn't accidentally glue itself shut. Just had to find the right angle. And on the side like that. There we go. Okay, and see, this one goes here. This one is this up here. This might be the hard, I might have to trim some of this because it is a little wide. I might have to trim just to make it fit down a little bit better, but we'll see. And this one goes in the blue. Right there. Because this is the tallest one. I think I will. Let's see. Just trim this right stem off. Just to make it a little bit easier to fit, so it's not coming up quite so far. And I might need to cut this off too, again because of that angle. You can keep part of that bottom leaf, but just to make it easier. Yeah, that way that tuck. I'm trying to make these like kind of the same height, so it's not, that one was coming up here, it's kind of taking up too much real estate. Okay. Ooh, I love that. Okay, that looks good. All right, let's figure out this. Maybe have the umbrella like this, and maybe one of the clouds over here, and this large one, and this one can kind of fit right there. Okay, so I might do that. So let's peel up this adhesive, or this backer tape. In the corner there. Trying to get just the edge. And put that one about right there. Let me get my bone folder so I can push it down. Okay. Now Now let's get the largest one. And put that one over here. And actually, let me get what I weathered. Let me see where I can want to put that. The title. Make sure I have room to put that somewhere. Like, it'd be nice to put it in this little corner somewhere. You know what I mean? So if I put this here, I think this could fit here. Like that. And then I can bring this over slightly. Again, just kind of using my bone folder to push it down. And then let's get this last one. And see if that fits in this little area over here. Let's see, does that fit? Yeah, I guess it's about the same. Don't really want to cut too much off of it because it's so pretty. We just trim off a little bit of the height. Yeah, just to make it fit underneath this cloud a little bit more easily. And I'm sliding it over away from the spine. And then push this one down. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that was a bit of a conundrum to figure out, but I think that worked out really well. I really like that. And then I can journal underneath and on the top of this. So I have space there and larger space here. Again, I'm gonna use my bone folder to kind of really push this score line down so to fold more easily. There we go. I'm just gonna actually go through and lift all of these and reinforce this fold. Again, so when I lift it, it's more easy. And because I use cardstock, it's quite sturdy. So that score is great. Now, the only other thing I might do is I have these Velcro dots. I might put one underneath each one just so it stays down. Like maybe on one of the edges, just so it's like this until I lift it. I might do that. And this is, look at this staple they have on this thing. It's like this giant staple. Hold on. Get my craft knife. See if I can, actually let me do it this way. Ooh, hold on. Tweezers, safer. See myself stabbing myself. Why on earth did they do it like this? Oh wait, you know what? I'm cutting it. Because I thought it was going all the way through the product, but it's not. So I'm gonna do this, make it easier for myself. And I'll have to figure out a way to store this. Okay, I might keep this. So this comes with, just got this back out of the trash so I can show you. 56 dots, they're 3/8 of an inch, or 0.95 centimeters, a large, and they're thin and clear, okay? So you get 2 sheets of each, because you need, you know, the rough side and then the smooth side. So let me get one of each one so I don't mix these up. And then put this aside over here. Actually, you know what? Let's put this back in the envelope so we don't lose it. There we go. Okay. Now, see, I think I'm gonna get my tweezers and get one of the smooth side. Ooh. Oh, I was trying to peel all these up. Nope. Just want one. There we go. Yeah, let's see. It would be cool if I could put it in the handle, but I would have to cut around it. Oh, I might can do it. Let's do it. And get one of the rough edges. These are slightly connected to each other, so you do have to be kind of careful. And I'm going to put the rough side touching this one. But before I press it down, I'm going to trim around it. So make sure my scissors are clean. And get my adhesive remover. And just kind of clean my scissors real quick. And I'm going to turn this so I can cut around, a fussy cut around the handle of the umbrella, so that the dots don't go past the bottom. Okay, and then I'm gonna push it down. Let's see. You have to hold it for any length of time. Okay, so it says clean, peel, stick, and the adhesion is complete in 15 minutes. So I'm gonna hold it down and leave it. Okay, so let's do 15-minute timer. So I know when it's safe for me to, let's do a stopwatch. Just so I know how much time has passed, so I know when it's safe for me to peel it up. So I'm gonna take my bone folder and just kind of smush it down, just so that it fully adheres to the paper. And now that's fully down, and when I want to, I can lift it up. It's kind of like a little hidden tuck spot. So I think I'll do the same thing here, maybe in the middle. And these ones, I shouldn't have to cut anything. I just did that one because of the handle, because I don't have much room, and I want to use all of the umbrella to write, since it's smaller than the clouds. So let's see. Let's get a soft one. And again, they're connected, so you kind of have to grab it, hold the other one down, and then tug. Let's see. Put this maybe right here. And I still have all of this room to write, and then underneath here to write. And then get the opposite one, the rough side. Again, same as before. Grab it, and I'm holding the one connected to it, and then tugging it off. Now I'm flipping it so that the adhesive is underneath. Ooh, this is strong. Okay. And then pushing it down. Get my bone folder. Oh, that's secure. Oh, I like that. I think that's going to be cool. Okay. I'm glad I bought these. I saw someone else on YouTube use these to create their Christmas advent calendar in their planner. And when I saw it, I immediately was like, oh, I could have used that when I created mine. I created little pockets for mine so that it would stay in, because I didn't like the idea of the flaps popping up in my planner. So one year when I did that, that's how I did it. Let's see. This one, I think I might do this corner. Again, because it's smaller, to make sure I have enough room to write. And then flip it. And I'm going to use my tweezers to hold it in place, and then push it down. And then I'm taking my bone folder and really push it down. Like my bone folder, I'm really pushing it as hard as I can, just so that it stays. So now I have that corner. Okay, this one, now I need to do this one. So this one, I think I might do this side, or maybe, yeah, I need to do side, because again, this one's small. So I think I'll do the right side, because the flowers kind of help hold that side down. So again, I'll get a smooth one. No, right here. The side. And then get a rough one. Again, you really got to tug pretty hard, because these are connected. Put it on top, and then push it down, and then get my bone folder, and I'm really pushing it down. Like, I like how thin these are. They're thin, but I will say they're strong. Like, I can feel how strong they are. This one, I might need two, but I don't really want to. No, you know what? I think the one in the middle is good enough. I think one per element should be fine. Okay, so let's put these back in the little pocket, so I don't lose them. Okay, that page I think is done. And, oh, you know what? I have these little extra little pieces. Do I want to add these or leave it alone? Might leave it alone. Or maybe add some of these small little raindrops. I might do that. Cut the raindrops away from the cloud. And then I can add this little mini cloud up there. So I'm going to cut them in little strips, so I can add the raindrops throughout. Let's see. So some coming there. A little bit on that cloud. And let's cut this one. I'm using my tweezers because they're so small. Let's put 2 underneath that one. And let's do another one. Let's get this other one. Again, I'm cutting all the raindrops off from the cloud so I can just add that little cloud there. And I might add another cloud in the middle here. And then I'm gonna separate some of these raindrops from each other. Let's put some here. A group of 4 underneath that one. Maybe a few underneath this one, in that little spot there. Wait, that's a little, yeah, actually that's sideways. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Because it doesn't look like raindrops when it's sideways. Hold on. Let me fix that. Let me do it this way. And then get my bone folder and smooth it down. And again, I think I might add one more cloud there. And I've got this single one, so I think I might just use this one. Ooh! That's cute. Okay, I really like that. I think that came out really well. So I've got these other ones. I don't think I'm gonna use any of these rainbows or these other umbrellas. I think that looks really good. So I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think that looks great. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna add anything else.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay inspired and thank you for watching.